Listen, it does not need to be a new year, a new you. It just needs to be a new year, a healthier you. Because sure, okay, they trying to take us down at every front. So get some TLC products and up that metabolism and up that energy and up that immune system, okay, that digestive system. Get that all together with these TLC products right here. And don't forget, okay, sign up for ifyoucanmove.com and become a part of the online gym and shed the pounds, honey. We're starting a new challenge on January 3rd, and I would love to see y'all there. Get the links down below. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue, and I am back for another Real Housewives of Atlanta review, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it. So Kenya's Cynthia and Mel go to yoga, okay? Kenya isn't getting any D. Everyone is out of shape. And eventually the conversation gets to this 10-10-20 date, okay? And Cynthia in this damn wedding. It's only episode, what, 4? And I'm so tired of hearing about this damn wedding. I'm exhausted of it, okay? Also, why is Kenya so loud? Like, I thought I was loud, but Kenya was screaming at Cynthia for most of this conversation. And even though I agreed with what Kenya was saying about how Cynthia is definitely making Mike feel like it matters more for her to put on a show and have this big wedding than it does for her to marry him, I still feel like I understand where Cynthia is coming from, especially when Kenya talked to Candy about it and Candy put it into perspective. She was like, well, the last time she was on broke. And this time she got a little money, so she want to do it the way she want to do it with no stress. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I feel like everybody's so upset with Cynthia, but I feel like she's entitled to want her wedding the way she wants it. And honestly, I feel like when I thought about it the way Candy put it, if I'm only going to be getting married one time, especially to this man, it's going to be the only time that we're getting married for the first time. Yeah, we can do all of these Jackie Christie, Doug Christie weddings over the years. But ultimately, that first one is the one that truly matters because it's the one that really makes you husband and wife. So I understand her wanting it to be perfect. And I feel like people need to cut Cynthia a damn break. Okay, because everybody is getting so annoyed with her because she's making Mike feel like she, you know, wouldn't marry him in a brown paper bag. And, you know, if you love a man, you're supposed to want to marry him in a brown paper bag and all of that type of shit, which is true. But ultimately, I'm a grown ass woman and I want an extravagant wedding because the last time it was ruined. So that's what I want. And that's what I feel like I should get. And if I can't get that on the date in which I want it, then I'm okay with changing the date. That's what Cynthia is saying. Cynthia is saying if I can't have this wedding the way I want to, I'm okay with changing the date so that I can have it the way I want to. Mike is saying we've been telling the world about this date. We should have it on this date. And I just kind of feel like they're playing it up for the show. But I was tired of Kenya screaming at Cynthia. I was so happy when Cynthia was like, oh my God, shut up and let me talk and just be a friend and be supportive, because I feel like Kenya has the tendency to let what's going on in her own life affect the way she handles people, especially her friends and especially Cynthia. People can say what they want to, but Kenya over the years has very much used Cynthia as a whipping boy when she felt angry enough about something else in order to do that to Cynthia. But because she almost ruined Cynthia's proposal, this season she's coming in trying to rectify the situation with Cynthia. I did not think this was a good start, but I did appreciate the real advice that she gave Cynthia. So it's not that I'm mad about what she said. It was more so how she said it and her delivery. Just stop screaming. Damn. Kenya goes and tells Candy about it, okay? And then this is when Kenya tells Candy that she wants to throw a surprise bachelorette party for Cynthia, but she knows that the other girls won't come if it's Kenya. So she wants Candy to say that it's her party. And Candy is like, I don't know how these girls are gonna react when they find out that this is not my party. You know what I'm saying? They might be upset, Candy, because they really don't like Kenya ass. When they discuss who's gonna come to the party, Kenya has to make this sly comment about Portia getting arrested on purpose. And I was just like, okay, see, Tamika Mowry already explained it. But in the past, during the civil rights movement, there were a lot of actors, singers, performers who got involved in the movement to bring more attention to it. And the movement was pretty much not making any movement until it was publicized, until people saw pictures and news, clippings and, news stories of the police brutality and people being attacked with dogs and fire hoses. Like, it actually needed to be recorded and put on television and on the news and in newspapers. It had to get large press in order for people to start realizing what they were doing. So the idea that getting arrested on purpose for a cause is not the right thing, she's mistaken, and she doesn't know what she's talking about. And it doesn't matter that she has an education. We all have an education in something. My education is in film and television. That does not mean I know the ins and outs of the political process, laws, and what happens when you're trying to protest the injustices of this country. So I feel like Kenya is out of her scope. And I feel like she sounded dumb when she was saying this, and she thinks she sounds smart. So it just makes me annoyed with her, because honestly, to be surprised, I thought better of her. When I saw this through the blogs, I was upset, because I'm like, damn, Kenya, you have so much already going on. Why did you have to take this, standpoint? Why did you have to come at Portia about this? Because at the end of the day, before Portia was getting arrested, she was out there protesting because she felt like it was her civic duty, because she felt inclined to do so. I don't feel inclined to do so as much, and obviously neither does Kenya, which is why her judgment of Portia is completely out of pocket, because it's not something that you yourself have done. You may have done other things, but the truth of the matter is, whether we know if you're going to get arrested or not, any white nationalist could have showed up and shot up a crowd of black people protesting, and Portia could have been dead and left her daughter behind. Okay? So she was still very much making a sacrifice. And I find it very ignorant and lowbrow of Kenya to come at Portia in this way, and really not smart at the end of the day, because as smart as Kenya is, and as, drama filled as this makes the show, because it was boring until this episode, I guess, I still feel like you should have known better, because this just wasn't the smart, classy based way to go about it. You already have an issue with Portia, so you want to invalidate her political work. I just think that was really messed up and uncalled for. And I like the way Candy responded. Candy didn't give her the response that she wanted. Candy basically said, well, it's a weird time, because Kenya is talking about she wasn't wearing a mask. I'm like, when wasn't she wearing a mask? When they threw that smoke bomb into the crowd and she had to run and gasp for air, when wasn't she wearing a mask? Either way, there have been so many times when people have not been wearing masks when they're supposed to. Our damn president was out here not wearing masks when he was supposed to, and you want to point out, how irresponsible Portia's being? I like what Candy said. Well, it doesn't matter how she's doing it. The fact is, she's doing it. That's it. Also, Kenya has some bi-curious situation happening between she and LaToya. Yeah, it's because Kenya's in love with herself. She's a narcissist. So, of course, she's going to be sexually attracted to the annoying girl who's just like her. So, Drew and Ralph, y'all. Drew and Ralph are exhausting. Okay? Ralph is so exhausting. And, oh my God. Okay. So, they have counseling, right? Before the counseling session, they're in the kitchen talking with Drew's mom. And the way he shut the mom down and ended the conversation, he's just very disrespectful to me. You can tell that he doesn't have a lot of respect for women, specifically mother figures, because I feel like, as we found out from the counseling session, he has mommy issues, and he puts that on not only Drew, but her mom as well. When they sit down with the counselor, Drew Sidora wants more honesty and clarity. Tell me when you're going to another state, okay? Also, she wants more genuine emotional love with her biological son. he did come in and you know, become a father figure to her son, but her son is sensitive, and you can tell her son has expressed feeling that there's some differentiation between how he's treated and how the children that they have together are treated. For her to say that, it's something that that little boy has expressed to her, or something she's noticed. So for me, that was like one of the main issues. You actually said you want your husband of 6 years to show your son more genuine love. That's a problem for me. Just saying, y'all, that's a little bit of a problem for me. I don't want to delve too deeply into it, but like I said, that stung a little bit when I heard that, okay? So he says what he wants. Ralph wants respect and more sex. And I would really like to know what respect means for him. Does that mean that she is supposed to be a doormat and stay quiet and not say anything while you talk to her and her mother crazy and disappear whenever you feel like it? What is respect for Ralph? Because I haven't seen Drew disrespect him yet, but I've seen him disrespect the shit out of her. Every episode he's been on here, I've seen him disrespect her. So I'm wondering what type of respect he thinks he's not getting. And that's where the male chauvinistic mommy issue shit comes up. Okay? So apparently his parents divorced when he was really young. His daddy was an alcoholic, left him with his mama. His mama couldn't take care of them. She was mean. She wasn't emotionally supportive. When he was a teenager, he got tired of it. He moved out. His mom got evicted, and that made his mom come and apologize to him after he had left her and, you know, went to stay with his dad. So neither situation was good, but you can see how he praises the daddy over the mom, even though it seems that both of them were absent. Both of them failed him in one way or another. You know what I'm saying? But he gets into how Drew is not going to emasculate him the way her mother emasculated her father. And Drew gets so upset. You can see it. And then he tries to act like she was going to cry, but really she was pissed when he said that. And I was like, emasculate you? I'm trying to understand how she emasculates you, because honestly, I feel like she's been walking on eggshells with your bitch ass this whole time. You have been disrespectful, disregarded her feelings, asking her if she was going to cry. Seemed like you were mocking her emotions. Like, obviously, Drew is paying for his mother's mistakes. Obviously. Okay? And Drew even said, I have to get therapy just so I can be supportive for him. And I'm like, if your man need that much damn support, maybe y'all shouldn't be together. And I know it looks great on the outside, you know, and all of that, but I don't know if they gonna make it, because he's terrible. And once she sees this shit back on national television, it's gonna make her feel different. Just saying. Then the therapist has to make him be affectionate to her when she actually does start crying. And she says, he's apologized to me so much, I don't believe it. I need to see action. I'm like, I don't know if you're ever going to see action, because a part of me feels like he thinks he's validated in whatever he does to you. So y'all, Lauren is inviting folks to Portia's party that she's throwing for her. She's throwing Portia a little, you know, we appreciate you in the struggle, Portia Luther King party, you know. And honestly, you guys, I did feel like, oh my God, why are y'all doing this? You know, like it did seem like, okay, so we're about to do this. We're about to throw a party and put Portia up on the billboards and all of that. You know, it kind of seemed like stuntation. But when we find out that it was a surprise for Portia and Portia didn't even know about it, that's when I was like, okay. I understood it then. But either way, first, let's talk about how she went around calling people to invite them, right? Cynthia wants to bring Kenya. Lauren didn't want to invite Kenya, but says, okay, fine. If she can be on her best behavior, then she can come. All right. She also calls Candy, and Candy puts her on speakerphone. Marlo's there. She invites Marlo. And because LaToya is there, Candy asks, my friend is here. Can she come too? And she was like, I'm sure she's fine. She can come with you. I'm like, child, you have not met her yet. Okay. But either way, LaToya can come too. I honestly thought that was kind of tacky for Candy to ask her that on speakerphone, but I'm sure it's some, you know, reality show. We've already talked about this. This is just for the show shit. But I just felt like, don't ask me if, you know, somebody I don't know can come to my sister's party on no damn speakerphone, putting me on the spot like that. But anyway, when Cynthia calls Kenya to ask her if she will come with her, she's like, I wish someone would throw a party for me like that for everything I do, but I guess I'll show up for a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, totally hating, right? So you can already tell from jump that Kenya's energy about Portia and this whole situation is fucked up. So I wouldn't have invited her to the party either, because you're not going to come with the right energy. You're going to come with your skepticism and judging Portia and trying to make it seem like Portia, you know, isn't doing this for the right reasons and all of that bullshit. And why would someone invite you to a party where we're trying to thank someone and celebrate them for doing something extraordinary? Like, I'm sorry, but protesting, especially during the pandemic, the way things were out there in those streets, that shit was scary. All over the place. Okay. It was very scary. And to be out there and put her life in danger and possibly not go home to her child, like, you're not going to make me feel like in any way, shape or form that Portia was not being genuine. You're not going to make me believe that. You know why? I could be wrong, y'all. And y'all know I've had my times where I like Portia and when I don't like Portia, but for the most part, I like Portia. But every time Portia starts to talk about this, there is something in her voice that moves me every time. And to me, that comes off as genuine. I feel that it is genuine. So I really don't like that people are even coming at her like that. You know what I'm saying? About this. For right now. That's how I'm feeling right now. Okay? Because you know, Kenya said that she tried to stop Candy's, you know, situation from being on the show because she wants to be the only one with the movement. I don't know if that's true or not. But I am reserving how I'm feeling, and I'm being cautious because I see how Kenya could feel how she feels. But ultimately, I feel like it's just in bad taste to speak on that in public. If you did feel like that, that should have been something you kept in private, because you're just coming off like a bitter, hating ass bitch that don't like somebody and mad that they getting positive press and people are, you know, basically swooning over them doing what they've done. Like, people have been calling Portia Luther King and, you know, saying how great she is for doing this and everything that she's done this past summer. People have been praising her for it. And I think that Kenya is jealous, because Kenya is often jealous. It's the way Kenya rolls. Ralph and Drew are getting ready to go out of town because Ralph's father unfortunately passed away. And so even though he doesn't get emotional, I'm not going to say he doesn't get emotional. He doesn't show emotion on his face or anything. But he talked about how there were so many things he didn't get to do with his dad growing up that he hoped he would be able to spend more time with him now that he's an adult and now he's gone. So it made him put things into perspective, you know, what's really important. So right now they're going to put he and Drew's marital issues on the back burner so she can support him after he's lost his father. And even though I understand that, I almost feel like he sees it as an opportunity to not have to continue to take responsibility for the damage he's doing in his marriage. Moving on. Portia, Marlo, and Tanya meet up and they talk about Dennis and all of the co-parenting gifts that he's been gifting her with. She says, we're not together right now. No, we're not together right now, but he stayed giving me gifts. You know, you're such a great mom to PJ and all of that type of stuff. And Marlo was like, I just don't want you to just get caught up and addicted to the gifts. I'm like, girl, you want to talk. Get the hell out of here with that. Okay. But ultimately, you know, Marlo was absolutely right. We'll give it 20 minutes before they're back together again. I'm like, you're right, because they're back together now. Child, when she put out them Christmas pictures of them together, I was like, oh, Lord, Portia, I'm tired with you in the hot dog king, girl. I'm tired. Anyway, Cynthia calls Kenya and tells her that Lauren just let her know that she doesn't want her to come to the party. Now that she has thought about it, she just doesn't want to chance Kenya showing up with her negative ass energy. Okay. And she's like, okay, that's fine. Somebody's going to pay for my makeup and my hair. Okay. And then Kenya calls Candy and tells her, well, listen, I have been, you know, my invitation has been rescinded to the party. So can you tell the ladies about the party when you get there, please? And she's like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. And she was like, yeah, you know what? Because it's all fake and self-serving. And Candy was like, well, maybe it's best that you don't come if you feel like that. And I was like, exactly. Exactly, Candy. You're right on the money. Kenya says that she would have played nice. And Candy says, I can think of a whole bunch of times where she couldn't play nice. And they run it down. And it's been so many run-ins between she and Portia where I felt like she started that shit. Okay? Anyway, y'all, but we show up to the party, right? Lauren is getting this party together. It was actually an outside party, really cute. And it was just showing pictures and posters that showed Portia and then showed her her grandfather and all of the things that he did in the civil rights movement, and just kind of showing that juxtaposition between the two of them and how she followed in his footsteps. And even though, yes, there was something, self-serving about the way it looked, but it was something that Lauren was doing for Portia. And I remember when Portia was like, girl, I'm going to kick your ass for this. And really it was because I appreciated and I'm overwhelmed, because Portia was crying immediately when she saw it because she had no idea. It was a surprise. So I can't exactly look at Portia like this is self-serving, because she didn't even plan this party for herself. Her sister planned it for her because her sister watched her get arrested and probably went through that with her and saw all the emotional turmoil she was going through, but still going out and being steadfast about it. And I feel like Portia finally feels like she's living up to her purpose and she stepped into that. And I think that it's a great thing. I honestly do. And I feel like her emotion about it touched me. When she was crying about it, it definitely touched me. She was like, I don't need y'all to thank me. I don't need y'all to thank me. And, they all, congratulate her and thank her and say, she did a great job, and it's beautiful. Okay, they all go in and sit down, and Portia changes her clothes. And when they sit down, Candy says, I feel old around these new girls. Child, Cynthia must feel ancient. I was like, Candy's so stupid. Lord have mercy. But they are seemingly ushering in younger girls. Fallon was there. LaToya was there. Some other girls whose names I miss. LaToya was shading the shit out of Fallon, talking about how she looks like a girl who likes older men because her husband is, probably about, 15, 20 years older than her or something like that. But I was like, LaToya, why did you need to come at that girl like that? You need to be happy that she classy, because somebody else would be like, okay, bitch, what you trying to say? Like, what point are you trying to make by bringing up how I look like a girl who likes older men? Like, what you trying to say? Like, that was just messy to me. And Candy clocked it. I mean, I'm guessing they all clocked it, because she brought it up again after the girl said her husband was the first older man that she'd ever dated. And she's like, oh, but was the last man you were married to old too? And she was like, no, I just said my husband now is the only older man I've ever been with, bitch. You not listening? LaToya gonna be a problem, y'all. They bring up Kenya's gift, and this is when Portia says she's indifferent to Kenya at this point. They've tried to be friends. They've tried to be cool. It has not worked out. Honestly, I feel like last season, even though I feel like Portia was trying to have a problem with Kenya, I also felt like she wanted to defend Tanya from Kenya, because Kenya was going at Tanya terribly. Like, bringing that girl, the cookie lady and all of that, that shit was extra messy. And there's no way I can call myself being true friends with somebody the way Tanya and Portia seem, and being cool with a bitch that would do that to my friend. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I've already had issue with her and now you doing all of this. Yeah, I'm probably going to say something about it too. A lot of the times if we in a friend group and we all friends, we like to stay neutral, but Portia and Kenya ain't tight like that. Like, bitch, I'm barely liking you as it is, and now you bullying my friend. Fuck you. I'm sure that's how Portia felt, and I can't be mad at her about it. But either way, Portia gives a little Portia Luther the King speech. You can tell she gets into her, her Portia Luther the King voice and all that. She's like, when you get up in the morning, I know we have all cried about the things that have taken place. But when you get up in the morning, you feeling some type of way about it, you do something about it. And I was like, you go ahead, Portia. You go ahead, girl. I'm not mad at her. Everybody needs to find their place. And at the end of the day, we keep seeing these pictures of her grandfather because I think it really matters to her that she at one point may have embarrassed his legacy by not being knowledgeable of the Underground Railroad. But we're not going to act like somebody being, you know, less than smart years ago is a reason to think that they're not actually interested or caring about the issues that Black people face when they are a Black person. Portia is not exempt because she has money, and I think she understands that. And I think that experience taught her that as well. You know, like Kanye said, you know, you still a nigga. It don't matter if you in the Benz, you still a nigga. But yes, we don't need any more situations where we are praising Portia for her works. Just saying, because it's just gonna look bad on the show, and people are gonna make it seem like this is why she's doing it, and I don't believe that at all, to be honest. But like I said, if I'm wrong later on, we'll talk about it then. I am, you know, not afraid to read Portia down if I have to, even though, like I said, I'm keen to liking Portia. And whenever she talks about this, I really do get emotional and feel the sincerity in her voice. For me, it may just be me, but that's just how I feel about it, y'all. Y'all want somebody else's opinion? Go look at their video. But anyway, y'all, that's all I got to say about it. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one.